Hey everybody. I wanted to put a word out there about making phone calls and care calls and ways to take care of your downline. I imagine that most of you in this group are already doing this, but this has happened enough in my own group that it bears putting out there for others. I have had more than one person, I'm going to be really open and honest here. I have had more than one personal member approach me about being switched from the leg or the line that they're in to a different leg or line in my organization or directly under me because I'm supporting them. They know me, they've heard from me, but they didn't even know that they had people in between me and them. And they don't feel supported by those people, even the people who signed them up. And so, which I realize for me is a problem within my own team culture that I will be addressing. But I wanted to put this out for everybody, partly because my own leaders are in this group as well now, and partly because it'll help you. Your people, your members, especially the ones who you signed up personally, a lot of times we avoid picking up the phone. We don't pick up the phone because we don't like phone calls. We don't like talking on the phone. So we don't do anything. We don't know them personally. So we don't want to pick up the phone and be that annoying person. But here's the thing. Our members know that we are earning an income from the orders that they make, especially those people who are on Essential Rewards. They know that we're making a commission from that. And there are more people out there than you might realize who get upset by the knowledge that they're making regular orders and they aren't being supported by you. And yet you are making an income from them. You're making a commission from them. So please, make a schedule, make a rotation so that you're calling your members or sending them a letter or something. It doesn't have to be a phone call, but some way that you're reaching out to them and connecting with them, whether you know them or don't know them, so that they know who you are within the group. They know who your leaders are that are between you and them, and so that they know who is there to support them, because they get frustrated. They don't know that they can have an income, or they don't know how to have an income. They don't know that the income can go more than $60. That was the person I talked to last night. So if you don't like to pick up a phone, what are some other options? Or you don't feel comfortable making a cold call because you've never met this person, you can send them a letter. Send them a letter and say, hey, I'm going to call you in, 5 days on Wednesday, and just check in with you. This is who I am, so that way they know to expect your phone call and it's not really a cold call. Or if you really hate the phone, you just can't bring yourself to do it, even with a whole bottle of valor, right? Then do like Lindsay Teague Moreno does. She writes 50 letters a month. She writes 50 little cards a month and sends them out to 50 people in her group. Now, in a group the size of hers, 50 a month is a drop in the bucket, but she does it. And she handwrites them. And then in 10 of those, she puts a little gift. So put together a rotation of some kind yourself. For me, my group is big enough that I can reach probably each person in my team in some way once a quarter if I make 5 phone calls a day, roughly, right? And so I can sustain that for a little while. 5 a day is not so bad. And then they hear from me once every 3 or 4 months, so they at least know who I am. Right? But this is the person I talked to last night. She is on my 4th or 5th level. She thought she was on my 3rd level. She had no idea that there are 3 other leaders between me and her. And I went to do a class with her at her house. And so she said, well, who are these other people? And I said, well, they're your, if you think of it like a family tree, they're your grandparents, right? They're your parents, your grandparents. I'm like a great-great-grandma on the family tree here. And she said, well, can I be moved under you? And I said, well, technically, yes, you can be moved under me, but then your mom and your grandma and your great-grandma would have to sign the form. And she said, well, I don't know if I can do that. Because she had actually approached her enroller at one point about moving or about just quitting, and her enroller was upset by it, was personally kind of hurt by it. But we really can't be very hurt when our leaders, when our members don't want to stay with us if we're not doing what we should to support them. So I just want to encourage you, find a way, whether it's a phone call, a letter, a text messages aren't the best because we get so many of them anymore, and that's not as personal. But if that's the only thing you have, maybe you don't have an address or whatever, you should have an address if they're a new downline, but do something and let them know, hey, I'm here. What are your questions? How can I help you? So that's just a tip for today, because our members are watching. Our members notice. Our members notice when we are supporting them. They know that we're getting an income off of them, and hopefully this is useful for you today. So thanks for joining me, everybody. I'll talk to you later.